So it is apparently Super Bowl Sunday this week, and I had no idea who was even playing until 2 hours ago, and I'm actually okay with that. This is Scott Reed. I'm joined in this episode by
Mike Atchison.
And Mike, what are your plans for the upcoming Super Bowl Sunday?
It's not so much that I'm rooting for either team. I'm just rooting against one of them.
Ah, okay. Well, you see, you could be like me and didn't even realize he was playing until... And actually what's funny is I got a notification from one of my crypto apps that was talking about the two cities. I didn't even know until I saw the names of the cities who was even playing. I haven't actually watched a Super Bowl in about 4 or 5 years now.
Really?
So yeah.
There's been some good ones in the last few years.
You know what happened for me? I'll just go ahead I'm sure everybody's excited to hear this story, but I don't know. In the late 2010s. The St. Louis Cardinals were making a run to the World Series. And I was silently rooting for them to lose because I was sick of pretending that I cared.
Oh.
So at that point, I made the decision just to drop. After that season was over, I said, I am done. And I went cold turkey on all sports, watching any sports except for volleyball. Volleyball is the only sport that I actually actively seek out and watch. So I used to say I watched golf, but that was really just when I wanted to take a nap. So, but that was my code word for taking a nap was I'm going to watch some golf on a Sunday afternoon. But other than volleyball now, I'm not watching any sports at all. And that includes the Super Bowl. Don't even turn it on for the commercials. So it has
That's
not
actually
been on
worn
in my house for a long time. So
yeah. I'll watch it probably, but probably not past. I don't know. It's got to be a competitive game, but I don't when it comes to the Cardinals. Now, you said the late 2010s.
Yeah.
I know
it may have been like 17, 18. I don't know. They were making a run for the World Series. They were in the playoffs.
Yeah, it wasn't the one they won the Super Bowl.
It may have been. I don't know.
That was the last.
I blocked it out.
2011 was the last World Series that I really paid attention to the Cardinals. I haven't really, for whatever reason, I didn't make a conscious decision like you did, but it just is not. I can tell you more about the 80s, 90s, and 2000s Cardinals than I can about anything now.
Yeah, the only sport that I gave up on that kind of hurt a little bit was football, because I've never been a huge baseball fan, never been a huge basketball fan.
Yeah.
Football, I kind of enjoyed watching football, but I even cut it out. So
yeah.
So
only so many hours of the day.
Yeah, this is not a sports podcast. This is rather a comic book podcast. So maybe we should talk about comics. But I'm going to talk about one more thing before we dive into that. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Wonder Man on Disney Plus, and of course we actually did our first 5 of Wonder Man a while back. Now this, of course, is not true to the origin of the comic book Wonder Man, but I am going to say that if the final episodes are anything like the first 2 episodes, this series is going to end up being really, really good. So
really,
yes, it goes back. So to me, the magic of the early MCU projects was that they weren't really superhero movies. Mm-hmm. You had things like, Captain America: First Avenger, which kind of a war story, and Winter Soldier, which was a spy thriller, and Ant-Man, which was a heist, and even the second Ant-Man was like a car chase movie. So they kind of had all these other themes to them. They weren't just pure superhero movies. And Wonder Man is, right now, at least for the first 2 episodes, is the farthest thing from a superhero story that you could see. So it kind of goes back to having that. It's just another type of story told in a universe with superheroes. So I don't want to give away any details, but it's been the first 2 episodes are really, really good, and I'm like anxious to get back to it. But
can you say whether Simon was in costume?
There is an homage. I'm going to describe it as an homage. It's not to the original Green costume.
Yeah.
All right. So there's something there, but it's changed a lot a bit. But Ben Kingsley comes back as Trevor Yeah, they have just tied him into this
Oh wow.
so well. So it's just it's a perfect fit for the character. And they took really what for most people was a throwaway character, and in this he's actually very very interesting. So yeah, I'm with the again first two episodes pleased as punch. So
Well, that's good to hear.
yeah,
I need somebody to tell me usually now if something's good. Otherwise,
yeah.
I don't really.
I am half tempted to. I mean, this is one because of how the story is kind of unfolding. I've almost asked my wife if she wants to watch it since I'm only two in. I probably won't, but I think it's one of those that a non superhero fan could actually sit in
Yeah.
on and potentially enjoy. Because you don't. I mean, who knows who Wonder Man is? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can kind of fill somebody in pretty quick, you know, and we're learning what this version of Wonder Man is like anyway as the story progresses.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, let's talk about comics. Unless you have something else that you would like to throw out there, Mike.
No, I'm ready to
You
talk
ready to go?
about comics that could be coming out a couple months.
In a couple of months. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start as we normally do with the next phase catalog. Now I do not have anything in Abrams or Ahoy, so my first thing is actually in Archie on page 24.
Well, the first thing I have is in Abrams, and that's it's not even it's a Marvel thing, but Abrams has on page 16 the Uncanny X-Men trading cards. It's like a little handbook and gives you each page has one of the cards, and then on the back page it has the back of the card. And I have fond memories of that's where I remember collecting. I didn't collect them. I had my buddy that actually drove for Capital City Comics. He gave me a whole set of them,
Oh wow.
and I remember just that was how I sort of got familiar with a lot of Marvel characters that I wasn't familiar with before. So it's supposed to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the trading cards coming out. You know, Jim Lee art, and it's just a book basically collecting those
All the
cards.
cards. Cool.
Yeah, so it'd be kind of cool. 20. It's like $25. So, but you know, you only live once.
All right. Anything else before 24?
No, nope.
All right. So this is the crossover that I really did not expect to see. So this is Archie Comics 85th anniversary presents Archie Game Galaxy OS. I'm not sure what the OS stands for. Original series.
Operating system.
Operating. Yeah. I don't even know what that actually stands for. So. But anyway, we're getting Archie crossing over with Nintendo, specifically Mario. So we have, you know, Mario and Luigi and Daisy, and I'm not for sure which princess Veronica is supposed to be. So, but then they have some variant covers that kind of simulate like the Nintendo Wii
Mm-hmm.
games. So, yeah. Anyway, just a very odd crossover. I guess there's a Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out, which I guess I did not know that. Probably should have known that, but Nintendo's not something I
Really?
keep up with big time.
I don't think anyone can shame you for not knowing about that
Yeah.
movie.
But again, I think the real thing about this is kind of a weird crossover. It's not a crossover that I expected, and there really aren't a ton of Nintendo comics. So, I mean, there are some, but I mean, there's not a massive amount of them. So,
Yeah, I get a kick out of the cover with Jughead's like eating the little
the
golden
coins, but
burgers, the
they're
little
burgers
coins, but
instead
the
of
burgers.
coins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, all right. My next thing is going to be on page 28.
Still you.
All right. Well, this is surprising because I have three notes in Archie, in addition to the facsimile on page 28 for issue 125 because it's got a Universal Monsters cover. We have the Archie Comics Digest number 5 Summer Fun. It doesn't say it any place, but I would bet money that there's probably some type of beach volleyball reference inside
No
of that
doubt.
issue. Now, since I believe these are all reprints, I think I can get away with not ordering any of these digest books. However, if somebody wants to correct me and tell me that there are new stories in these digests, then I may have to order it just in case. it'd be cheap order now than to try to track it down later on. So.
Yeah, I wish you could. I wish you knew what it was reprinting. You could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's. I think you're right. I'm almost certain there's going to be a volleyball game somewhere on the beach.
Yep, yep. There's only surfboards on the cover, but there's a real good chance because they usually have about 6 to 8 stories in these little digests, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah.
all right, my next thing's on page 58. Bad idea. So what do you got before 58?
I have something bad as well, but it's not bad idea. It's with AWA on page 41, and it's called Bad Mother. It's a trade paperback by Krista Faust and got art by one of the greatest artists I think is Mike Diodato. I really like his stuff, and it's a collection of issues 1 through 5 of this original series. Are you familiar with it?
I am not. I have not read or seen anything about this series, other than if you've mentioned it in a previous episode.
I have not, and I am really the world's best at pointing out a book or something that has already been solicited once, or it's it doesn't catch my attention until the second time around. So this is the Krista Faust is apparently a crime writer, and it's you have a woman whose teenage daughter goes missing under mysterious circumstances, and suburban soccer mom April Walters embarks on a harrowing mission to find her. So it sounds interesting, and I mean, I don't know what the bad mother part means, but I'm sure there's some.
Yeah. All you gotta do is look a couple pages down at her walking away from the explosion scene, and that it perfectly explains bad mother right there, because she's the mother.
There it is.
She's
Yeah.
bad, so yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yes, there you go. But it looks really good. Yeah. So I am gonna pick it up.
Hey, no shaming for talking about trades, because I actually have a couple of trades that I'm going to mention in this episode as well.
Oh, so. Great. I'm in good company then.
That's right. So I'm still on 58. So.
It's you.
All right. So into Bad Idea. And so we have a new number 1 called The Hab, H-A-B. So, this is weird. It's like I put this down. I saw the first page. I put it down. It's like, okay, this is something that's going to be pretty interesting. And then as the longer I scrolled down, because they have about 6 to 8 pages on this book, the less interested I became. So this is one of those where they should not have given us any story pages, because I probably would have ordered it if they hadn't. But whenever I look at the story pages, it's like, yeah, I'm out. It's not anything that I'm going to be interested in. It kind of was going to be a post-apocalyptic, rich people. It's what I thought it was. Rich people build a safety spot so they can survive the apocalypse, and it's built on top of this freshwater area. But then there's something hidden in the fresh water. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of like The Thing, but with a little different taste. But then it just kind of turns into like, the preview art is like, the preview art is not great. And the story that they give is just, it does not seem interesting at all. So yeah. So I started being interested, and then the more I read, the less interested I became.
What it did for me, because I had this down as well, was typical of Bad Idea. It overdoes it. It oversells something. And all I did was get more confused, because they showed 3 more variant covers, or 4 more, maybe more, 5. Oh my gosh! I'm just like, I'm over it already.
Plus the VHS edition.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, they are the most gimmicky company.
Yes.
And it might be. And what really made me pleased and made me pause when I seen the first page of it was Bill Sienkiewicz, supposedly on some of the art. I don't know if it's covers only or what, but he's one of the greatest. And Jacob Phillips is also an artist on this. I don't know how they're divvying up all of the creative duties. So one of us needs to get it so we can just tell the other one it was a bad idea.
Not it.
Not it. Okay, not it. Oh, good.
Not it.
That's
okay.
my God. How many decades has it been since I've said that? Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, this is a definite skip for me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, we'll have to. We'll just have
yeah,
to. Well, luckily we have the internet. We can
yeah.
find somebody talking
So
about it.
that book is on page 58.
Yeah.
Bad Idea's second book is on page 72. So that means that there are 14 pages about the Hab. And like I said, I was 80% interested in it on page 1. 14 pages later, I'm 0% interested in this book.
Yeah.
So what is that, about 5% loss per page? So
Yeah. We need. Yeah. Somebody needs to talk to us about their
yeah.
marketing strategy.
But did you want to talk about on page 72, Oddball's Odyssey? Did you have that one down?
I didn't. I mean,
Okay.
the Mickey Mouse
Well,
cover. Oh
yeah,
no.
no.
It's up a little bit farther. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
No,
So
I don't.
anyway, I also am not particularly interested in this book. It's one of those anthropomorphic characters go on an adventure. Okay, so that's just not for me. And again, the artwork is not in my mind great. But did you notice the Popeye variant cover?
Oh no, I didn't.
So on page 76, it's Tony Millionaire's
Oh, I'll be
Oddball
darned. Yeah.
Odyssey, but they have a Popeye comic strip cover, and I guess E.C. Seeger.
LZ, or yeah, LZ Chrysler Seeger is his full name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So there you go. So they have a Popeye strip variant cover, which has nothing to do with the rest of the
Interesting, yeah.
book.
No.
But I just thought it was odd that they are just like, yeah, I know, let's put our title on it, but put a Popeye comic strip on the front.
Yeah, it's like a full page of a comic strip comic. You know, yeah, it's just a full page from the interior of a comic, a Popeye comic that they made into a cover.
What do you think it's? I assumed it was like a Sunday Funnies type of comic strip
But it's
because
like
of how the
it's a full page. I mean, I would.
Well, but you see how it's laid out, and it's like the same width.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's like,
yeah, that's
like
true.
5 or
It
6
might be a
panels.
collection of several.
Yeah, so I think it's
Sundays, yeah.
several strips.
Oh
is
right,
what it
yeah.
actually is.
I guarantee. I'm sure it is. Yeah, because early on, that's how most of the those. That's what comics did. They were, maybe the first ones were a collection of strips. But I have no idea what the heck this Tony Millionaire's Oddballs Odyssey is all about, or what it means.
Well,
or-
if they give you some preview stories, and it's like a monkey and a skunk, and I don't know, they go on an adventure and blah blah blah. It's just not for me, and the art isn't particularly appealing.
yeah.
For me as well. But once again, they do a ridiculous number of pages on it. So it goes all the way to page 90 for their third book. So they spent 18 pages on Oddball's Odyssey. Just for me to mention, they have a Popeye cover. They also have a 1010 and a Mickey Mouse and something else.
And I'm looking at the page with the skunk and the monkey, and it reminds me of something that our what was his name, Robert Crumb.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like that really rough looking art, very
Yeah.
underground comics style. It's definitely not for me. I don't like that kind of art.
Well, I don't have anything until DC on page 118.
Yeah, same here.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about page 118 then, Mike.
Okay, let's see here. On page 118, did I really put down?
Well, I assume you put down Zatanna
Zatanna?
number 1. Yeah.
I did. I'm
Or
kind of
Zatanna,
surprised
excuse me.
because, I put in it's I really it's 117. I just wanted to comment
okay.
on this is Act 2 of DC's All In, which I'm not sure how that fits in with Next Level because that was the marketing slogan last month. So it's just basically more rollouts of new series, and I just wanted to comment that it's DC's continuing. I mean, they're doing pretty well in sales, so hopefully they keep riding that wave. But all of the next set of books that are coming out are going to be kind of in the aftermath of DC's KO event. The King Omega, which I just now get it. I thought KO was literally like knockout, but it is related to the King Omega, which is whoever wins that tournament and can defeat Darkseid. So, did you know that? Did you pick up on that?
I have read exactly 0 of the KO stories.
Yeah. I've read issue 1. Forgot to order number 2. I ordered number 3, and now I don't know what to do except maybe go to the app. But I've heard. I mean, 1 was fine, but I still, I'm not. It's not like I'm worried about it too much. But since you already, mentioned 118 and Zatanna, yes, Jamal Campbell, who I've really loved his art ever since Far Sector. The Joe Moline
Mm-hmm.
Green Lantern. Um, but he's doing the writing on this as he did with the previous Zatanna story or series that he did. It was a 6-issue, I think, miniseries. I can't say that I was enamored with his writing on that last series. I think writing, sometimes artists take for granted that it's just going to be easy, and I think they grow into it. Sometimes some artists that turn into writers, grow and do better. So I'm going to get this at least the first couple of issues to see if I like where it's going. But his art has always been just, he's one of my favorite artists in the 2020s.
Yeah, I still need to read that Far Sector story, just because it's. We talked about that with the oh, what was it? Absolute Green Lantern or something like that. It's like, oh, if
Yeah.
I'm going to read, one of her stories, I should probably just read Far Sector and not start here. So.
And the author of that was a much more established. I mean, she N.K. Oh gosh, Nemison, or I'm sorry if I'm. I know she's not listening for me to be apologetic, but she's a science fiction writer and really really well renowned. And she did that comic, and it was a really great story. It was basically a whodunit in far reaches of space where this particular Green Lantern, Joel Moline, had no. There was no other Green Lanterns that could come to help
Right.
her.
All right. What about? So I had it down just because it was a new number one from DC, so I thought I'd throw it out there. Plus, we had, done the first 5 on Zatanna, and there's a really cool Adam Hughes cover. So,
Oh yes, true. Yep.
what about 120? Did you have 120 down?
I did, but if you'd like to talk about it, you go right ahead.
I don't particularly. I have read some Firestorm off and on. So
Yeah.
they have a new Fury of Firestorm number 1 because I read several books from his second volume. I don't know that I've ever actually read anything from the first volume of Firestorm. That's what Jerry
Yeah.
Ordway, right?
The first
Creator.
volume?
Yeah, the first volume is Jerry Ordway,
Oh,
right?
of Firestorm?
Of Firestorm, yeah.
No, it was. I mean, the very first was Al Milgrom with
Really?
Jerry Conway writing. Yeah.
Okay, Jerry Conway.
They're the
That's where I messed
Yeah,
up.
Jerry
That's
Conway
Jerry
writing,
Conway.
Al Milgrom. They were the co-creators. They
Okay,
did that 5-issue miniseries, and then the Fury Firestorm was the.
the
I
second
think that
volume.
yeah
Oh, what I call the second volume, but yeah.
yeah the miniseries actually just stopped because I think the DC implosion.
Hmm.
But then
It only went
Conway came
like
back.
5 issues, I think.
Yeah, just five
Yeah.
issues, and then the implosion hit,
Hmm.
and when they came back a couple years later, I want to say, oh gosh, who was the artist? Raphael Kayan, or I don't know. There's been a few, but yeah, I don't know
Okay.
where you were going with that, so
I
I'll stop
wasn't.
for a
Just
second.
just to say, I haven't really read a lot of Fury of Firestorm, or read it very much Firestorm, and of course that's one of those characters that, in my opinion, they kind of butchered in New 52.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I'm
yeah,
not super interested in this character or super interested in this, but it is Jeff Lemire writing, so
right.
that's the one thing that maybe when it hits the app, I might give it a shot and see if it's good or not. But it's just not. Again, it's just not a character that I can get particularly excited about.
Okay, so hot take.
Okay.
I was a Justice League reader for so long, and then in the late '70s, Firestorm came along. He Superman sponsored him to bring him on the Justice League. He was the first new, new character in the Justice League for a long time. Other new members had been around as heroes, but and he was the most marvelly DC character ever. Jerry Conway wrote Spider-Man all those years, and he really channeled that whenever he wrote Firestorm because he was also writing Justice League at the time, and he's got a rogues gallery that's very similar to Spider-Man's. A lot of animal based, or it's so there's a lot of appeal to him. I think he kind of jumped the shark, really far in. He went, gosh, 50, 60 issues before Conway left and like John Ostrander took over and they kind of changed things. But I am looking forward to it. I like his power set. I like the transmutation. I like his look. I know that
The combined minds in the one body.
Yes, the combined. That's right. It's the combined two consciousness in one body. Martin Stein being his mentor from within, getting pulled in when he's not really wanting to be because he's teaching a class. Next thing you know, he's fighting the weasel. So I love. I think sometimes it's like sometimes my memory just is making it better than what it maybe really was, but that's just the way nostalgia works. But
oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I like pretty much everything there is about Firestorm.
Yeah, don't go back. Sometimes it's best not to go back and reread some of the things that you have fond
Right.
memories of. Yeah, I tried to do that with Power Pack. Oh my goodness gracious, no, I didn't make it very far. So, all right, my next thing's on 143. So whatever you got.
I got a couple things. I got on page 126. It is. Oh, sorry.
That's right. Batman, Wonder Woman, Truth #1 by Jeff Loeb is what it is.
It is. Yeah, I'm on my laptop. I'm not at home. I don't have another screen to navigate things, but it's it's I don't know if it's a single special. I don't know if it's a mini-series. I don't know if it's an ongoing. It doesn't say anything about that in the solicitation. But it's Jeff Loeb with Jim Chung art. It looks a lot. I guess I never really thought about this before, but Jim Chung and Jim Lee, I think they have similar styles. So it looks like a Jim Lee book. Anyway, I think Jeff Loeb's still got a lot of talent, and I know everything he's done hasn't been perfect, but I want to check out this one issue. It's especially if it turns out to be just a special. But yeah.
My gut says it's a one shot because it's an aftermath of Hush, story. So
right.
I bet it's a one shot. So
yeah, the art looks fantastic. Goodness.
And seeing Catwoman with the lasso in that one image.
Yeah. She stole it.
Mm-hmm.
And then on page 142, did you say you're on 142 or 143?
I'm on 143. So.
Oh gosh. Okay, so on 142 we have the 50th. All right, everybody, break out the champagne. 50th anniversary of World's Finest, Batman/Superman World's Finest, and again it's Mark Waid and Dan Mora with a little help from Adrian Gutierrez. It's a 40-page book, but only $5. So there's a lot to like about Waid's World's Finest series. For him to be the writer on it for this long and Moore to be the artist for this long, even though I could probably be somebody would whip me if they. I told him I didn't really care for Dan Moore's art all of the time. I'm not as enamored with him as I am some people are, and I just sometimes his work looks a little bit rushed and cluttered, but overall it fits pretty good with what Mark Waid's doing. So anyway, the 50th anniversary, and it features an adventure that is so big, not only are Robin, Supergirl, Jimmy Olsen, Batgirl, and the rest of the Super Bat family joining, but Dan Moore makes his return to the series he helped launch. I don't know who's. I guess there's been some other artists helping out because he's been doing Superman.
If your shtick is collecting comic books with accordions on the cover, then you need to get the Weird Al Yankovic variant cover to this issue because it's got Weird Al with an accordion. So, which goes hand in hand with page 143, Bizarro Year None #1, written by Kevin Smith, which of course makes me wonder how long it's going to take to get this entire series out.
Oh, right.
So because Kevin Smith has written some really really good comics, but I mean some of them he's taken so long that they didn't even finish them because the ending of the story became irrelevant before it got around to being released. However, this also has instead of a Weird Al Yankovic variant, it has a totally normal Al Yankovic variant cover to it without an accordion. He's carrying a briefcase.
I
So
didn't
there
even
you
see
go.
that.
You get your
Yeah,
two
yeah.
Weird Al covers this month from DC.
This artist, Nick Patara, he's got a Frank Quitely look to his Superman. It very thick necked, kind of rumply looking costume. Interesting design. I did have that down as well.
Okay.
I'm not. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
try to like Bizarro, but sometimes I really get tired of trying to
Yeah,
interpret what
and
he's
it's not.
saying.
They're not consistent with it. You
Exactly
know
right.
that's the hard part. Is it's like they're inconsistent with how it's. You know, if he's actually always saying the opposite, it's just weird. So,
Yes,
and
yes.
they
That
take the Bizarro thing too far with all the other, like the Bat Zorro and the whatever the Ring
yeah,
Zorro or whoever the Green Lantern. They kind of run with that too much
yeah,
sometimes. But
right. And they did that early on. I mean, it wasn't very long before they had a Bizarro Superboy, Bizarro Lois
uh
Lane, Bizarro Jimmy Olsen.
Bizarro
It's,
World.
yeah, Bizarro. Yeah,
Yeah.
it became such a thing.
hmm
And I like it in small doses. I like Bizarro, but I'll
I,
get this. It's Kevin Smith,
mhm.
and we'll see.
Yeah. Again, we'll see if it gets done. And I'm a little skewed because my first real serious Superman story was, of course, the Man of Steel, Burns Man of Steel, and in that one, Bizarro's not an alien; he's just a failed Superman clone. So
Right.
I kind of prefer that version myself, but that's neither here nor there.
That's fair.
All right. Anything before 147?
No, all you.
All right. Did you have this down to talk about this?
I did,
You did. Okay. All right.
but
So here we have on page 147 Swamp Thing issue 88. Now this is going to be a continuation of I guess it started as the saga of Swamp Thing and then just became Swamp Thing once Alan Moore took over, or actually a little bit
yes,
before Alan Moore took over on the book.
yeah,
And
the
then of
second
course,
volume of that series.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then Alan Moore had an extended run, which I think was four fair. I got like the four hardback versions of Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing. And then when he left the book, and again, correct me on this, anything that I'm wrong on, Rick Veitch, who was the artist for part of the Alan Moore run,
Hmm.
took over writing duties on the series. Now, I do not remember how long Veitch was the writer. It was apparently until issue 87
Hmm.
when the series gets canceled. But there were stories in the book, and I guess had been finished, that were never published. So
Yes.
now we are getting Swamp Thing 1989, number one, which is written by Rick Veitch, art by Michael Zulli and Vince Locke. This is going to be, I guess, going to bring us to the conclusion of that Rick Veitch story arc. Now, they don't say how many additional issues we are getting here.
I think it's three.
Okay.
I think there's three issues. I don't have. Oh yeah, it was like what was meant to be number 88. No, 88, 89, 90, 91. So four
Four
issues.
issues. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Um, so apparently there was. I don't know if this is something, if there was something too controversial for the time, that
It,
the reason why these didn't go, if sales were just too bad, they just didn't want to risk it. But just from looking at the two covers that we get, we're going to get two covers for Swamp Thing 1989. It is very definitely going to have a serious religious undertone to the story, at least in the what is issue 88, because you have Swamp Thing holding the lamb, and then you have a crucifixion homage with a crown of thorns on the second cover, which I assume is a second cover for 88.
yeah, I
Yes,
assume
yeah.
that too.
hmm
Yeah.
So there's going to be some apparently, like I said, and I even remember. I mean, there was a lot of religious undertones in those Swamp Thing stories, even leading up to this. So I don't know. I don't know why, but I'm pretty stoked to read this. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
have to apparently, find out where my Alan Moore issues end. Try to read the balance of that story before this comes out here in a
Yeah.
couple of months. But I'm super interested in this Swamp Thing '89
Yeah.
#1.
I mean, reading Swamp Thing by Alan Moore really was during my teen years or early 20s, and I remember it being such a. I mean, it was in his little tagline, sophisticated suspense. It really was. It was like, wow, comic book writers can write this well. And I am the same way. I didn't probably read or continue reading all the way up through 88 or 89 or whatever when it was canceled. But I do know this was in doing some research before we record here tonight. It was he actually meets Jesus Christ according to what I found in that original Rick Veitch story, and the DC, the DC wasn't comfortable with that at the time, and it was just like crossing over into maybe sacrilegious
Mm-hmm.
undertones or something. I don't know, but fast forward to 2026, and I think we're all over that. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking. I hope it's done in good taste. I yeah, I'm sure Alan Moore, it wasn't the first time he
No.
or Rick Veitch trying to be like him, kind of rattled people's cages.
Yeah.
So,
I've generally been impressed with Rick Veitch over time. He had a series called Brat Pack, which is like an indie story, kind of one of those reimagining of superhero sidekicks
oh,
story that
yeah.
was, and so he's kind of one of those. He's in that genre of writer, and I honestly don't think that I had picked up an issue of Swamp Thing until after Alan Moore had finished his run. And it's not that because I went back. That's not that I had to go back to much later. It was when those hardback, the black covers with the side profiles of Swamp Thing, when those came out, when I actually first read the Alan Moore
Mm-hmm.
Swamp Thing. So it was much after the run that I actually read those. But I do remember reading some of Rick Veitch's Swamp Thing because at the time I was more familiar with Rick Veitch than I was with Alan Moore.
Wow.
So just because I had read some Rick Veitch stuff before.
Yeah.
So because he had done some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he had of course had Brat Pack, so there were some other things that he had done as well. So anyway, I'm pretty excited to read this. You talked about one of my memories. Now I'm thinking about this memory, and this may have been something I read in a magazine explaining why these books weren't published. Okay,
Yeah.
but my memory for this, and this could be from the comic, this could be from a magazine talking about what was supposed to be in these issues. But one of the scenes is there's a vampire who is present during the crucifixion and captures some blood that from the Christ.
Oh
All
my.
right, so that was part of the story, and I'm wondering now if I'm remembering that from the magazine talking about why this didn't get published, or if that is from some Rick Veitch stories that were in
Mm-hmm.
that last few issues. So, like I said, I've got to track these down. I've got to read these again here in the next 2 months to kind of get myself prepared to read these. What you say is 4 issues. So I'm going to be ordering
Yeah.
all 4 of them for sure. So,
That sounds great. Yeah.
yeah. So okay, man, we took a long time on that. Sorry about that.
Well,
165 is my next thing.
I've got on 153 just a quick comment on a facsimile edition of Superman's pal
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Olsen 115. This is during the era. Can I say super? You know what? Is that
I think
is
everybody
that
knows what you're talking about.
yeah?
Let's call it Jerk Superman, where he's a
Jerk
super jerk.
Superman. Yes,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
this I don't have this. I remember it's a Neil Adams cover, and they're in the desert, and Jimmy Olsen and Aquaman are both on the desert sand, dying of thirst.
Hmm.
Apparently, Jimmy.
They've hit their 1 hour because
They've
apparently
hit
in
their
this
1 hour
one,
because Jimmy's
yeah.
got the exact same powers and weaknesses as
Hmm.
Aquaman in this story, and Superman's standing above him with the pitcher of ice cold water that he's pouring onto the desert floor, the desert grand, and basically taunting them.
Yeah.
It's classic. It's terrible. It's funny. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but probably will.
But hand in hand with that, I mean, just a few pages later, they got the Action Comics 454, which is
Yes.
another jerk Superman where he's eating all the food basically on the planet.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
so
That's another. Yeah. What the heck? It wasn't Neil Adams, but it was Kurt Swan. But still the same idea.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
know.
also, well, on 154, you've got the World Finest facsimile, and it's Batman and Superman making Robin and Jimmy dig their own graves. So
I didn't even thought of that one. You're right. That is also kind of a
yeah.
jerkish thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
And there. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and there are people who collect that. They just collect all the jerk Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coverage. Again, they don't say jerk, but
Right. Right.
you get the idea.
Super whatery.
All right, so I'm still on 165. So
It's you now. It's you.
okay, so Mike, you've been talking about how much you enjoy these DC Compact
Yeah.
comics. So they are putting together a box set of what could arguably be the 6 best DC stories ever told. Because this set includes All-Star Superman, Watchmen, Batman the Long Halloween, DC the New Frontier, Batman the Dark Knight Returns, and Kingdom Come. So if you are looking for, most of those I have in some other form, so I won't be picking these up. But my question to you, Mike, is if these are the 6 best DC stories, what do you think should have been in here that is not? Now, I'll give you a second to think, because my one that I would want to put into this, I'm not for sure which one I would take out, but would be V for Vendetta. But
That's a good one, yeah.
Do you have one that you would want to add to these compact book sets?
I'd say the one I would suggest is not. It probably doesn't technically meet the criteria that these do, but Camelot 3000, if Mike Atchison was editor-in-chief at DC Comics, Camelot 3000 would be in there.
Really? Wow. Okay.
And that's
That
my
is a
personal
surprise.
love of that book.
Okay.
Talking about, kind of noteworthy series in that time.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I've read these 6. Kingdom Come is probably my favorite of those. And then DC the New Frontier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Why? Yeah, it's hard to really.
They're all really good.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. There's not none of these 6 are bad. So
Yeah.
like I said, I actually own in some form all 6 of these.
Same.
So yeah. So and I'm not the huge DC person that you are. So
Yep. Wow.
Okay. All right.
Good question.
So I was just curious. See what you
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, and I might if I had more time to think about it, I may come up with some other something else. But the first thing came to mind was Camelot 3000.
No, that's the way it should be, because that was my first thing I thought of was V for Vendetta. So it's
Okay.
just like
There you go.
you just on the spot, put you on the spot. So
Yep.
I put myself on the spot. First thing I thought of was V for Vendetta. Now, having thought about it, I really haven't come up with anything better. But
Right.
hey, and speaking of Camelot 3000, just a few pages down on 169.
Oh, that's
you got a
right.
reprint.
Yeah.
There's a reprint
That is,
of
yeah.
the trade. So just FYI. So.
As if I need another version of it. I have about 5 different versions of that.
Oh, really? Wow.
I've bought the original issues 3 times, I bet, Scott. 3 times. I cannot pass them up. It's the one, and it's not technically the greatest. It's a Mike W. Barr story. It's Brian Boland art, which is the art's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it complicated? Is it like Eisner Award winning? No, but man, this is a.
It tickles you in the right spot.
It does, man. I've always had a thing for King Arthur fiction. Yeah.
I'm finished with DC, so if you want to wrap up DC for
That's
us.
it for me as well.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So, good deal. All right. So, I'm actually down then on page 298. I didn't have anything in Dynamic Forces or Dynamite or Drawn
Yeah.
in Quarterly, which has a huge section. So I'm at 298. Where are you at?
I'm in the 300s,
Oh,
333.
okay. So, all right. Mark Spear's Monsters, The Monster and the Wolf, number 3. I thought this was a two-parter. So apparently there's going to be a third issue. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I've read the second issue or not. If I haven't yet read it, it's in my to-read pile. Because the issue 3 is picking up where issue 1 left off, which is, I guess, is why I was assuming that it was going to be concluded. So apparently issue 2 is a flashback story. But issue 3, the gimmick here is that it's going to be a silent issue, a la G.I. Joe 21, right? So we have
Mm-hmm.
monsters versus ninjas. So it's going to be a silent issue, which is supposed
Oh.
to be the final issue of The Monster and the Wolf.
It's going to be good. I'm sure all that. I mean, looking at this cover, if the interior is anything close to it, it's got to be awesome.
All right, so I'm on 333.
That's what I had next.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'll let you go.
But you know what? That is totally you. What am I thinking? I should let. Yeah, you should do it.
Well, my comment on, so there's a new edition of the Hobbit graphic novel, illustrated by David Wenzel, adapted by, I assume that's Chuck Dixon. They say Charles Dixon here, so I guess that's
Oh, I didn't
coincidence.
notice that, but yeah.
And of course written by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now this is a book that has been out before, obviously, so this is a revised and expanded edition. And I have actually come across other versions of this multiple times, but they are always beat to heck because this is a type
Oh.
of book that people apparently get and they read it and read it and read it and
Mm-hmm.
read it. It's one of those. So I am thinking seriously about picking this up just to have a nice copy for having on the bookshelf. So yeah, it's something I guess I should look into if there's going to be a hardcover of this at some point because it doesn't say at 35. Oh, it is a hardcover. So yeah, so this
It
is a
is, yeah.
hardcover,
Mm-hmm.
$35. So I'm probably going to grab this and not to read it, just to have it. So
Well, I don't. I mean, I would like to have it as well. So go ahead and buy two, please. And no, I'm not the Tolkien aficionado that you are, but man, I really, really, really love that series. I love The Hobbit. I love the Lord of the Rings
rings.
trilogy. I don't have any graphic adaptations, so this is a first for me. And now I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to get one to read and one to keep like you're
Yeah.
doing. So, but this is like if you were to say, Mike, if you could only buy one thing out of what we talked about this month, and you may later ask that, it would be this. So, yeah,
Well, okay. So I guess my follow-up question to you is then: have you seen the animated Lord of the Rings films?
I haven't. No.
Oh, okay. So there's The Hobbit that they did first, which is
Right.
a traditional animated.
Chronologically, it did occur before, right?
Right. Yeah. So anyway, we got The Hobbit, which is kind of like this traditional animated film,
Yeah.
and then they had the Lord of the Rings, which was one of those. I think the term is rotoscope, where they basically are drawing like over the top of people moving to kind of give it a particular look and feel.
Oh.
And yeah, and they apparently ran out of money right after the Battle of Helm's Deep, so that's where it ends.
Oh, wow.
So then they come back later, and I can't remember if I don't. I would have to go look, but I don't think it was the same company that did all three of these. But then they have a Return of the King, which goes back to that more traditional art style, like what we saw in the Hobbit film. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so anyway, that's just so there's some decent animated stuff out there for Lord of the Rings.
I didn't know that, and it's not because I shouldn't know it. Maybe I should, but I don't keep up with what's coming out in that way. And
Well, these are old. These are in the 70s and 80s.
oh, okay,
So
gotcha.
yeah, so these have been around
Right.
for a long. I have them on DVD someplace.
Wow,
Not Blu-ray.
that's
DVD.
cool.
And
That
I
is
then
cool.
they of course would have been out on VHS before that. So
Yeah.
all right, I don't have anything now until Image on 363.
You would never guess that I would be only 2 page past that 333. I'm on 335.
35. All
But
right.
another one of my favorite books has an adaptation, a graphic adaptation here. Um, it's To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's I don't know. You mentioned earlier that that Hobbit was just a what do you call it, remastered or expanded or
Yeah,
whatever.
expanded. Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this is brand new or if it's expanded or something like that. But all I know is it's the first time I've seen something like this, and I want to get this both for me and for my granddaughter. I've got a granddaughter that's going to be 12 in a few months, and it's one of those stories that I think is relatable to a preteen young lady because it's one of the main characters is that age, and it teaches lessons of equality and things like that that people need to know about, and it does it in a way that isn't like jamming it down your throat. So I'm definitely going to get this for both me and Josie.
Okay. I'm still on 363.
And it is you.
Okay. All right, so we're into image. Oh, and I forgot to mention when we were talking about Zatanna, not Zatanna, Firestorm, and maybe it was Zatanna. I'll have to double check, but we asked for some suggestions on the Facebook page of some books which we pick out, and Michael Cathro chimed in that he was definitely going to be ordering the Fury of Firestorm #1, and I want to say it was Zatanna. Was the second one. I'll double check that here whenever we get a pause.
Hey, Michael, that's good choice. Firestorm, all the way.
But on page 363, we have Red Roots #1. The lives. Now, there's not a whole lot of detail on this one. It's a little light. So, the lives of a professional killer and a high school teacher are bound by a terrifying, mysterious force. So, this is a new #1. Lorenzo De Felici does story and art and cover, and they got 4 pages of preview, which is it's not bad. So actually, no, excuse me, 6 pages of preview. So again, light on details, but I don't know. That might be for the better. So I'm gonna debate on picking this one up.
Well,
Okay.
let's see. Okay, where were you? That was 363?
333. Now I've got 368 as well.
But Red Roots was 363, right?
363. That is correct.
Okay, I only want to comment on that because it reminds me of a book I just covered on the roadshow called Hairball. It involves a ebony cat, and it's got mysterious powers and whatever, and it's a Matt Kemp book. And I don't know if you remember me talking about reading that or getting that book, but I know you're very familiar with Matt Kent, so it was really good. And Clinton Robinson of the Comics and Coffees podcast, or Comics and Coffee, or Coffee and Comics, I'm sorry, podcast, we reviewed this together, and it was really good. I mean, Matt Kent, he really has very few misses, so
Yep.
that's what this reminds me of, though. So, sorry, that was a
No, it's
tangent.
okay. Nope,
Yep.
that's a perfectly good tangent. So,
Yep.
All right, 368. This is the absurd book for the month. So, Youngblood #100. My first question is: have there actually been 100 issues of Youngblood? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now, if they started counting like spin-offs like Strike Files and all this other nonsense that where they, took all the #1s and combined them together, then maybe. But even then, I kind of question. But you want to talk about hyperbole for a book? The world's
Yeah.
greatest comic book artists have assembled to provide amazing covers celebrating the 100th issue of the comic that started Image Comics. And here's the list of all those great covers. Cover A, Rob Liefeld. Cover B, Rob Liefeld. Cover C, TBA. Cover D, TBA.
Oh, that's too great.
So apparently there's 3 of the greatest comics artists ever, and that includes Rob Liefeld and 2 TBAs. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
funny.
just that's just so absurd, and it just fits right in. So
It fits that. It's no wonder that people give him so much crap.
yeah.
It's just
Now, again, I want to state the fact that when he was putting out comics, man, at Marvel, I was buying them.
yeah.
I just, I bought into New Mutants, I bought into X Force, I was buying them, but as soon as he left Marvel, all of a sudden I didn't care anymore. So,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna say I keep getting his like reels popping up on Facebook, and they're relatively entertaining.
Yeah.
So he seems like a good guy. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
This is just more about the hyperbole than anything
Sure,
else.
yeah. That's what I mean. The not I don't even say criticism, but the kind of it's just it's kind of an ongoing joke, and
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but I don't think he has bad art. No, I've never thought he had bad art. It's not.
Oh, he
It
has
is
some
very.
bad art.
It's very
No, no,
typical
no.
of the '90s.
He has some really
Okay,
bad
okay, all right.
art. Now, some of it is, I think, pretty good, but some of it is complete garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my explanation is that he tried to, since he was emulating Kirby, and Kirby was not about proper anatomy all the time, right? So I just think that Liefeld, when he was doing some of those images, just didn't know when to stop. you
Yeah,
know, so
right.
I think that's the difference. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm on 373.
That is where I am.
Well,
Yeah.
then you, me, and Michael Cathro all suggested Corpse Night #1. So I'm gonna let
Okay.
you run with this one if you want to.
It's not like I have any kind of. I'm not steeped in knowledge about this character. It's a basically it sounds like a zombie knight from medieval France. So the miniseries, I'm sorry, it's a miniseries by Michael Chavez, and the art's by Matthew Roberts and Rico Renzi. And the solicitation says, as a war ravages France, a young girl named Foy lives in relative peace with her father. It's it's a night story. It's a zombie story. I don't know if it will. I know when we was it Once in Future with
Hmm.
Karen Gillan. I enjoyed it to a point.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will be similar, but it's worth a try. I
Well,
like
the
a
one
good.
advantage this is going to have over Once in Future is that it has a defined end.
True.
We know it's only 6 issues.
Yeah.
Whereas Once in Future really stuck some stuff in the middle that just didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
If
Padded
Once
it.
in Future had been 6 issues, it may have been one of the best series ever.
Yeah.
But there was a whole bunch of stuff in the middle which just like wore me out.
Right.
So
Right.
this has that potential. I guess I almost think when I first looked at this, I thought it was like a second story in the same universe, but it says miniseries premiere, and I don't see anything that points back to it having been something before. And you've got 4 pages of preview art here, so the artwork looks pretty good
It does.
as well. So
Yeah. In fact, the interior looks better than the cover's okay. I mean,
yeah,
but I like the interiors a lot.
I would agree with that. So
Yep.
where are you at next, Mike?
375. The very
Okay, I
next
had
thing.
that down too, but I think yeah.
You go with that then. Your
Well,
turn.
no, this is more you than me, but you just got to be a sucker for those variant covers, is what it is. So.
Oh, I don't even know that's what caught me up.
Oh,
Oh my
well then-
gosh! Oh my gosh! Okay, talk about a live. The listeners are
Reveal
hearing
right
a
there.
live reaction. I did not see that. Okay, so I can't even talk about the book. Let's give the title first.
Yes.
Ghost Machine, the official guidebook, 1 of 5. All I knew was, you know what? I'm really liking this universe that they're building. That Jeff Johns and Brad Meltzer and Pete Tomasi and those are like the story authors in this book, but
Yeah.
you also have, all kinds of great artists in, whether it be Geiger or Redcoat or the Northerner or whatever. This universe is really well constructed, and the bottom third of this page has an homage cover for the Ohatmu, or is that what you would call it?
Yes.
Ohatmu, Ohatmu, and Who's Who.
Who's Who,
Oh, dude,
yep.
I am getting all 3 of them. That's Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Oh yeah, that was the only thing I was actually going to comment on was like you got to respect the homage covers for the Marvel and DC handbooks.
That
Yeah,
is awesome.
those looked really good. You could just, I mean, I even it says Ghost Machine on the DC one, but I look at Ghost Machine and all I see is who's who. You know, it's the
Yes,
same font, same way with the handbook of the Marvel Universe. It's just yeah, it's the wraparound
fantastic.
covers on all three covers. So just like the old handbooks used to be. So yeah.
That is great. Yeah, well done, Ghost Machine.
All right, I'm on 423.
Uh, yeah, I'm at. Oh wait, I am on 388,
Okay.
and let's see what that brings up. It's Kilroy was here, or Kilroy slash over the was. Kilroy is here, and to be honest, I don't think I have a really good solid reason why I put this down, except I remember that was such a thing in the 80s. You would
Mm-hmm.
tag or graffiti something, and
Mm-hmm.
don't worry, I didn't go do that in public property. I would do it more on, on my notebook at school or something, or, Kilroy was here, and you put that little guy's nose hanging over the edge of the wall. Uh, it's
Of course,
apparently,
Styx had the song too.
that's right. That's very true. Um, Kilroy was a being of unknown origin and power, and he was cursed to wander the earth. So he avenges the innocent, protects the weak, and he leaves his trademark signature. Kilroy was here. I mean, I don't know who Joe Pruitt is, the author, but maybe he's of my age and he remembers that stuff in the '80s. So that's what got my attention. Maybe I'll get it. I'm not sure, but
Well, we'll talk about Joe Pruitt here in just a minute.
okay.
I'm still on 423.
Then it is. No, it's me again.
Okay,
What
all
the
right.
heck? I wrote down. I got too aggressive here. I'm
No,
at
you're fine.
418,
Okay.
and that would be Super Creep Show,
Ah,
and
probably for the cover.
it is. It's all about the cover. What is that? Batman number 423?
423. Yeah, the McFarlane cover.
Yes, with the,
Yes.
the the McFarlane Batman cover with the cape out, and it's one of the. Uh, I think the. I mean, there's nothing special about that issue, but it is the original art I think went for some record-breaking
Mm-hmm.
price recently. But this Super Creep Show is a Jerry Duggan, Marv Wolfman stories with art by some people I don't know. I know they don't. Mike Spicer, I know it's the only one I know. Um, and I guess it's maybe a couple of horror stories,
Some
maybe
anthology stuff. Yeah.
anthologies. Yeah, so nothing on the interior that I'm thinking of, but the cover, it's an homage, so I'd probably get it just to put on my wall next to that Batman 423. I'm a I'm a I'm a prisoner of my own compulsions.
Now I'm on 423.
Okay, sorry, you can do it.
Okay. All right. So speaking of Joe Pruitt, here we have Viking Moon number 5. Now, I have read the first issue of this series, and it basically is what would happen if whenever the Vikings, discovered North America, if they had encountered werewolves. That's basically the story. But I remember the first issue being pretty solid, and I got on my list of things to pick up at some time in the future. So this is the final issue, which
Hmm.
means that we should be getting a trade for this series pretty soon. If I were to walk into a shop and saw issues 2 through 5 sitting there, I would probably just grab them. As it is right now, I'll probably just wait and order the trade, I assume, next month. But Viking Moon seems to be a pretty good story. So again, there's a Joe Pruitt reference for you. So
Joe Pruitt, I worked with a guy by that name. He was from Vandalia,
okay,
and
probably not the same guy.
I'm pretty sure it's not, but it would be
Yeah,
really great if it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
you could get some insight on that book.
Yeah.
So I'm on 430.
I'm at 450.
Okay, all right. So just going to comment that the final issue of Wrestle Heist from Kyle Starks is solicited this month. I haven't got the first issue yet, but it should be coming pretty soon. And then
Mm-hmm.
439, yet again, here we have another trade. This one is actually the trade, not just the final issue solicited, of No Man's Land. Now, this is one of those that I ordered just because it looked interesting. The premise is basically that there is a murder. Apparently, there's this island that's kind of out there at the end of the Bering Strait, where one part of the island is owned by the United States and one part of the island is owned by Russia.
Oh.
And there is a murder that takes place kind of on the line. So there's a little jurisdiction issue, and it's also in 1963, kind of during the
Ooh.
height of the Cold War.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have both of these sides investigating this murder. So anyway, the artwork is very, it's almost has this painted look where you don't actually, it's not like the figure is drawn and then you fill in the color, right? It's like it's just painted. So it's a very interesting art style. But anyway, it got my attention with the first issue.
Hmm.
So it's along with Viking Moon. This is another book that I have on my list. Once it's collected, I can pick up the whole thing. So I'm probably going to pick up No Man's Land here in trade. It's only a 4 issue series, but like I said, the first issue really kind of got me. So I'm looking forward to reading the remaining 3 issues.
Okay.
Uh, where'd you say you were at?
450
All
with
right,
Mad Cave.
go for it.
It's the only Mad Cave entry I've got, but it's Planet Atmos Exordium #1. It looks science fictiony,
Mm-hmm.
but the solicitation is talks about sort of a heist.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you mix the not genre. I guess heists aren't genre isn't a genre, but if
Oh,
you mix
I would argue that heists are a genre. We were
okay,
talking about that earlier with the Marvel movies.
you were
You have the
that's
heist
true. Yeah,
movies, and
yeah, yeah,
so you have a heist story combined with a sci-fi story.
yeah, yeah. So that's okay. I should have just sent this to you and said, "Hey, can you talk about this?" Because I don't. That's a better description I could have came up with. But that's what the appeal looked like to me.
Mm-hmm.
Was it looked like sci-fi? Then it looks at the written solicitation and it's talking about it being a heist. It's maybe related to a series of games coming out
Mm-hmm.
because it's the first entry in the Planet Atmos universe of games and stories.
Yep. And I had that down for that exact reason. So if it's something that looks
It
like
could,
something you might be interested in,
yeah,
and it's like if there were a video game
yeah,
kind of
that
based
can
on
make it
this,
big. Yeah,
would I want to play that video game? I think I might.
yeah,
So this would kind of like get you on the ground floor on that universe building. So I am probably in on this one as well.
excellent.
Now I do have one more thing in Mad Cave, and it's really just
Okay,
to talk about a cover on page 458.
okay.
A lot of people like negative space covers, and there is an amazing negative space cover here for Dick Tracy issue number
Oh
16.
gosh, it really
Mahmoud
is.
Asrar, yeah, it's just like you got the yellow trench coat. It's got the negative space, and so
Yeah,
it's a little over half of the cover. It's kind of a cool cover. So it's sometimes you buy a book just for the cover. I might be buying this book just for the cover because it
it's a
is
yeah, it's
pretty
cover
cool.
B, and I would
Hmm.
agree. I would definitely buy that cover before I would cover A.
Yeah, but it's
I
one of
mean,
those the earliest negative space cover that I remember was an issue of Spider Woman. It's like issue 37, and it's
mm-hmm.
like her costume, is that red, and then it kind of builds into the background is the red as well. So yeah, the negative space covers have been around for a while. John Tyler Christopher, I think, does a lot of negative space covers, but again, this one absolutely caught my eye. So,
Yeah, it pops that yellow and
hmm
black, and just the way his hand,
hmm
that's is just floating there on its. I'm getting it based on what you just based on what you just said. So nice, 458. I need to
all right,
type that in.
type that in. Yeah, I'm on 557 now, so I'm skipping through Oni and Source Point and
Yeah,
all the massive indies this month. Nothing really jumped out at me.
I'm
You
all the
got
way up to
anything?
575, so
Oh,
I'm a
all
little bit
right.
before that,
Well, you're a little after that.
or a little after. Go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
All right. So this is my monthly plug here on 550. I had down 557, but that's apparently incorrect. where are you, Rekka Comics? So, oh goodness, 557. Oh well, anyway, it's Rekka Comics. The future is issue 12. This one has a cover by Wilcie Portacio. Now, speaking to former host on the the Campus Comics cast, Matt, he got to meet Wilcie Portacio and wasn't impressed.
Oh.
But but that doesn't mean he's not a good artist.
Mm-hmm.
So he is the A cover, and then of course we talked about. Oh well, I guess I could just look at the book sitting right here beside me. The B cover, we have the art from Mario D'Alessandro. Has the other cover. So if you like the interior, then you'll want to go with the A cover. If you want a variant, then you can go with the B cover. So anyway, I don't know what page that's on. I may actually have been after you after all. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So what do you got?
It's Oni Press as well. It's Estuary, a ghost story. I think the title, a ghost story, caught my eye. I've always been more, when it comes to scary stories, I've been more of, I like ghost stories better than I do, monsters or slashers or body horror. And I I remember a book by Peter Straub called Ghost Story. Anyway, that just made it catch my eye. It's not an adaptation of Peter Straub's story, but it's basically just a ghost story. Bloodstained past of old California, different kind of devil is rising with the tide, and it's by Tim Daniel and artist Mon House. It's got to do with the tidal estuary. That's just the locale. And I don't know, it's one of them deals where it's amazing how the packaging can really make a difference and get somebody to buy something that if you didn't see it. Again, it's just a example of how comics are so great. You get the combination of the writing and the art, and yeah.
And apparently it's 647 is where Rekka was. I don't know why I have written down 557. But it's page 647. So
okay. Well, when you said you were through Oni Press, that's why I thought I was next. So
yeah, nope.
Okay.
I had the wrong page number down. So 647. And remember, if you're searching for it, it might just be under Future Is, not The Future Is.
Yeah.
Because that cost me getting that pre-ordered a couple of miles because I thought, well, they just thought I had one this month. So. I'm finished with Next Phase. So you got anything else in Next Phase? I assume Tomorrow's book, right?
You're right. That's the last thing. It's Tomorrow's Alter Ego number 200 on page 722. It's issue 200. So, double-sized anniversary special, and it's got a lot of Bronze Age history, even though Alter Ego's kind of known more for its golden age. Maybe a little bit into the Silver Age, but you're talking about it's got Roy Thomas talking about his favorite series to write, going from All-Star Squadron to Conan the Barbarian to the Avengers to the Invaders and Fantastic Four.
So did you name all 5 of them? Because on the cover they show the Avengers, the Invaders, Fantastic Four. Can you guess the other 2?
Oh. Well,
so it's probably All-Star and Infinity Inc., right? Would probably be the other 2?
Conan.
Oh, Conan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I wasn't even reading the cover like that. I was looking at the solicitation. Yeah. So I kind of cheated. Yeah. Without even knowing I was cheating.
Hey, and look who's there in the middle of that image standing right behind Ramblin' Roy.
Oh my gosh, I need my glasses. I can't see.
Well, he's got a long proboscis. He's kind of greenish, and he's there behind Rascally Roy in the image on the page.
I don't think I understand who's got I see Hawkeye and Goliath, maybe?
Oh, no, not in the cover, on the lower right image.
Oh,
where you
okay.
got Wolverine, and then Roy Thomas is standing behind Wolverine, and then behind Roy Thomas you have...
Hang on. Oh, I see. It's Man-Thing.
Man-Thing.
Man-Thing, yes.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that here later on, won't we?
You're right.
Okay, all right. It's amazing how those things work out.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my.
All right, so you ready for next, or ready for panels, I guess?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Man, my panels choices just keep it shorter and shorter and shorter. So
Yeah, it's not super long for me either.
But we need to start on page 8, unless you have something before page 8.
No, I don't. No.
Okay, so starting on page 8, we have like what they're kind of promoting as the big books this month from the various publishers, and they're basically just doing one per their main publisher. Mm-hmm. So from Boom Studios, we have Hello Body Horror issue number 1, comic script by Mark Bouchard and Various, and then artist Rye Hickman and Various. A new curation in the Hello Darkness horror anthology series. So are you going to be picking up this apparently body horror anthology book from Boom Studios, Mike?
No, as I said earlier, not too long ago, I'm horror stories, body horror,
ghost,
and
yeah.
I'm more of a ghost story fan. So definitely won't get this just for the sake of some woman licking the corpse of some guy. It does not appeal at one bit. So
no, me too. That's a definite pass for me. So all right. So from Dark Horse, we have Young Hellboy Thrilling Sky Adventures number 1, script by Mike Mignola and Thomas Shinosky, illustrated by Craig Rousseau. Have you read any Young Hellboy?
Well, you just answered my question. I was going to ask, is this a thing? And
yeah.
I didn't know there was a Young Hellboy thing. I would say if it's not, I would say, oh yeah, I'm going to get in on the ground floor of Young Hellboy. But otherwise, no.
So I know Art Balthazar did a. Now that may have actually been Itty Bitty Hellboy.
Oh yeah.
But so there's been some of these, younger Hellboy stories, and I guess technically his origin, he was found as a child. So.
Okay.
Or I guess as close to as a child as a little demon can be, So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to pick this up, but anytime you got a Hellboy story, it's probably worth mentioning because there's a bunch of Mignola fans out there. So, all right, so the next one is from IDW Dark. All right, Event Horizon Inferno issue number 1. So they're continuing the Event Horizon story, which of course was a Sam Neill movie back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. So again, it's a horror story. Mike, is this something you're going to pick up?
Well, it's out of the 3 so far. It's probably the most likely. Let's see here. Aliens meets Dante's Inferno. Mm-hmm. Space Marines. That reminds me of the Doom game. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'll go ahead and pick it up. What the heck?
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, they just had another Event Horizon book. So it's like the second title for Event Horizon. I'm probably going to skip it. I wasn't super impressed with the other one. So it's probably a skip for me.
Okay.
All right. From Ignition Press, we have Extraction Beginnings number 1. Comic script by Andy Parks, illustrated by Ronan Cliquette. Experience the early days of Tyler Rake in this new prequel series, debuting ahead of the new Extraction film on Netflix. So, Mike, buy or pass here on Extraction Beginnings?
I'm just going to say no, and I really don't know why. I mean, it's not.
Anytime it's a prequel to a movie or TV show,
yeah, right.
They can't do anything too terribly crazy in it.
Yeah,
they're really limited by, what's going to happen. They can't really reveal anything.
Yeah.
So they're always a pass for me. So.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is listed as Marvel Universe, though it's Marvel DC. Spider-Man Superman, written by Brad Meltzer and Jeff Johns, illustrated by Pepe Larraz and Gary Frank. So buy or pass on Marvel DC Spider-Man Superman.
Bye, of course.
I'm a pass. I just I just can't get into these crossover books. So.
My
did you get the Deadpool Batman?
I did. Yeah.
How was it?
I haven't read it yet.
Okay, all right. So you'll have to report in.
I did. Well, I got the DC. I didn't get the Marvel because I was like, I'm like, no. And I thought they were going to be the same story. I didn't
But they're
pay
not.
attention. They're not. No, they're two different stories. So yeah, and
Oh.
now you can't get the Marvel
Oh,
Daredevil
really?
Batman. It's pretty high.
Huh.
So
Okay. Huh.
yeah, so I got the second printing kind of late to the game on that of the DC published stories. And I heard that really the best stories were the other backup stories to it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
wasn't the main ones. So yeah, I'll just have to someday. I may be on the apps. Who knows? But
Yeah. I
yeah,
just, this is one of those you got your peanut butter and my chocolate, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter things.
right.
I just want them to stay separate. I don't need the crossovers. So,
Yeah. I mean, it seems nostalgic to think about the Spider-Man and Superman. I would be more interested definitely in this than Batman and Daredevil. They just don't seem
Deadpool.
like. I mean, yeah, Batman and Deadpool, yeah.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get it. Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's
All right.
it's it's a script by Meltzer and Jeff Johns, and yeah, I mean,
Okay.
two great writers, I think.
All right. Well, my first thing in the catalog proper is on page 20.
Okay, then that's you then.
All right. So on page 20, we have Hidden Springs. This is a four-issue series from Dark Horse, written by Rob Williams, illustrated by Nil Vendrell Polak. Premises: you've got some ex-Hollywood celebrities go to a retirement community and discover a baby kaiju. Uh, yeah, it's a bizarre premise. I have not convinced myself I'm going to order it, but it was worth mentioning, especially since it's just a four-issue series.
Yeah, yeah. I looked at that and I seen the kaiju and I thought, probably not.
Yeah, probably not, but I don't know. It was a number one, different premise. Sounds all right. So,
Sure. Yeah, it's worth a mention. Yeah.
then I'm on 27.
I guess because of the way I do things, I should have. I did have something on page 15.
Okay.
It's with Boom, and maybe it's later in the book too. But it's called Neighborhood Watch. It's issue 1 by Sarah Gailey. Illustrations by one word named Haining, and it's supposedly a mind-bending thriller. She's Sarah Gailey is a Hugo Award-winning writer apparently, and what we have here is a Jill Hewitt's a community leader and wife of a respected cop, and she has turned up with a gunshot wound in a tunnel. It could be like a highway tunnel or something, and I don't know if she's alive or dead, but apparently she's dead because they're talking about they stumbled upon her body, and it sounds like a murder mystery. I don't know. It's a number one.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Boom. I like to support these, not just Image. I like to just check out once in a while a comic from these other independents. So I might get it.
Yeah, I looked at it, and it's kind of one of those where it's almost like that bad mother trade that we were talking about earlier. It's kind of like the bad girl or whatever's happening
Mm-hmm.
there. It kind of has that feel to it as well. I didn't put it down, but I went ahead and typed in. I'll look at it again when I actually sit down and order.
Okay.
Maybe I'll change my mind, but
We're influencing each other.
yeah, yeah. I'm still on 27.
Then yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so on page 27, we have, well, if I can get to the right page, I think it's 27. No, it's actually 29, sorry. The Rocketeer, the Island, number 2. So we just have a second issue in the compilation. Now, my notes well, I thought this was a one shot last month.
Mm-hmm.
But last month was Rocketeer Classics. I had to go back and look. So this is the Rocketeer the Island second issue. So I guess this was solicited. The first issue was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is a different story. So you have maybe they're gonna I don't know they're gonna alternate the Island and Classics. Maybe the Classics was just a one shot. I don't know. But we got a new Rocketeer book. I usually buy them. I don't generally keep them, but I usually try to buy them and read them. So.
Well, it's got John Layman writing. I like him as a writer, and the art looks a little bit more cartoony than what I'm used to seeing with Rocketeer, but it
Mm-hmm.
still looks like it's fine.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
At that
And
point,
it's
it's more
a
about the character, you know.
yeah, it's more it's an Amelia Earhart, and that's one of my historical figures that I'm really interested in, and I like reading about her. Um, so yeah, that could. I think I remember you talking about this. I don't remember if I ordered number one, but now I have a reason to maybe reconsider that.
I'm on page 33.
That's still you.
Okay, well, this is just to mention, and I feel like this is out of order in the catalog because at this point they're going by publisher and then in each publisher alphabetically. So 33 finishes up IDW Dark, and then the next publisher is Alien Books, which should be higher up in the catalog, but it's here, and apparently this is the new home for Valiant because it actually on the cover says Valiant Alien Books. So
Hmm.
you've got Harbinger, Bloodshot, Shadow Man, Exo Man of War, and they're not number ones, so I don't remember seeing these last month. But for anybody who's interested, there was some new news today. I think I saw it on Bleeding Cool. At least I think I got prompted with an article about some more news on the Diamond uh,
Hmm.
debacle. So I guess they've moved from Chapter 11 to Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and I'm not a
Hmm.
lawyer, so I don't know exactly what that means. But it sounds like it's near the end. But if you want to see some dollar figures about who owes how much money where and who's missing out on money, the one that actually concerns me is in this list is a company called E. Gerber,
Hmm.
and they make the my lights, the bags and the boards that I like to buy when I'm selling books or
Yeah.
because they're archival. So I can't really decipher if it's um, they owe Diamond money or Diamond owes them money. I'm not 100% for sure on that. It almost sounded like they were a part of Diamond, but again, it's kind of confusing. But if you want to get some more information, you can find that. But again, it's just weird that this is now apparently the home for Valiant, which is Alien Books, and they have several books listed for anybody who is still a fan of
I'll be
the
darned.
Valiant universe. So,
Yeah, talk about a company that I mean they were in the top five
hmm
publishers, and it really kind of fell off the wayside.
well, I mean, there was after. I feel like after often as the case after Shooter left, and I don't know if he was run out or what the deal was. That just kind of signaled the end there
Hmm.
of kind of Valiant. So,
Yeah.
all right, I'm on page 44.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to back up again because the way this catalog drives me crazy when I think I'm I don't know how my numbering is that out of order, but no, you already covered it. So I did have Hidden
Oh,
Springs on my list.
oh, okay, all right,
No, so we can pass it up. So yeah, you talked about
okay,
it. So yeah, I
all
don't
right, all
have
right, we
anything
got it.
now until 45.
45. Okay, so
Hmm.
44. Now we're into Marvel, and we have what do I have? Oh, Captain America is getting a double dip. So we're getting issues 9
Oh,
and 10
yeah.
of Captain America. So I'm saying this as much for myself to make sure that I order both issues. Sometimes you get in the habit of just finding the next issue and adding it to the cart, and you don't necessarily know that there's another issue of the series. So one's coming out apparently April 22nd, and one's coming out April 29th. I'm wondering if we're going to get another one the first week of May. But so yeah, so we've got the Captain America's 9 and 10, still Chip Zdarsky. So far, the first few issues have been pretty good.
Good.
Just throwing that out there.
Gosh, I wish I had 8 days a week just to read stuff I haven't read.
I tell you what, my reading has been in a serious decline this year. So
Oh
I
yeah, I
I
mean,
have I've committed to getting comic books priced because until I get them priced, I can't get them out of my house.
mhm.
So yeah, that's what I've been. My reading time has gone to pricing time. So
Well, I'm still trying to read, but I don't. I'm way behind the pace from last year, and I read a complete nonfiction prose novel,
ah,
prose book in the first month of the year, so that kind of cut into it. So yeah, 45. It's Civil War Unmasked, and maybe I'm just falling prey I'm the kind of person they want to sell this to, and it's really just revisiting the Civil War event, and I don't know if it's like picking up stories where they left off or going in between the pages, but it's tied to the, oh my gosh, was it 20 years now the Civil War came out?
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Christos Gage is the writer and illustrated by Edgar Salazar. An urgent mission from Bishop takes Tony Stark into the days of future past.
Which was the X-Men classic X-Men story from X-Men 141 and 142.
Yep, yep,
So apparently it's just going to tie several things together.
could be. Yeah, I'm at 53 next.
All right. Well, I'm on 46,
Oh,
which is oh, and maybe this was what I was thinking about. We were talking before about anniversaries. Eternals 50th anniversary special. Comic script by Ralph Macchio and Patrick Stump, illustrated by Dan Eaglesham and Michael Cho. Notice who's missing from that is anything referring to Jack Kirby. So
yeah.
this is celebrating 50 years of Jack Kirby's cosmic vision. I don't know if Ralph, and I guess is what it's actually Macchio. I think when we talk about
Yes,
the
Macchio. Yeah.
comic guy, is he still around, or is this a story that they are pulling from
Oh,
the
wow.
archives? So I don't know, but I'll probably have to give this a shot just because of the fact that the oh Isad Ribic on art, and I cannot remember who wrote that Eternals series that came, the most recent one.
Hmm.
Um, oh, was it Jason Aaron?
Well, they were
Maybe
teamed. They teamed up a lot. Aaron
they
and
teamed.
Asad
Yeah,
Ribic. Yeah.
so maybe it was Jason Aaron, maybe not. I don't know. It was good, so I've kind of, it kind of ended weird,
Hmm.
almost like it didn't end. So I don't think this is going to tie into it, but I'll probably grab it just
And yeah,
because
but
it's
you
a.
got also got Dale Eaglesham and Michael. I don't know where they if they just each do parts of the story, but I really Dale Eaglesham's one of my favorite. Like in the aughts, he did a lot of JSA
Okay.
stories. I
And
really like
there's
him.
supposed to
Yeah.
be a brand new Eternal in this story. So
Hmm.
there you go.
Yeah.
So there's something new. So I don't what it is. Who knows? So
Okay.
then I'm at 56.
I'm at 53,
Okay.
uh, which is Jubilee
Jubilee or no?
Deadly
Yeah.
Reunion by Gene
Okay.
Yang. Illustrated by Michael, I don't know how to pronounce YG,
You know,
Yeej. And I don't know much about Jubilee. I know she's an Asian American. Her full name is Jubilation Lee.
mhm.
I think I marked this down because it might be a good way for me to know more about the character. I know she's an X-Man.
Okay.
So
Yep.
yeah, it seems the cover seems like something you might see in a manga or something.
Yeah.
Sort of got that Japanese feel to it or Asian feel to it, but it looks really good.
Still on 56.
Okay, you.
All right. So I just going to mention we got the second issue of Moonstar. I was kind of interested in the first issue, tracking down the Bob McLeod variant cover, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, it was one of those like 1 in 250 variants. So yeah, I won't be picking that up. So that's unfortunate. And I don't remember if I ordered the a regular copy of the first issue or not. I think since I couldn't get that cover for a reasonable price, I just opted. I'll just read it on the app. So
Hmm.
anyway, I just wanted to mention that. And then I'm at 109.
I'm getting close to the end. I'm at 66,
Okay.
and it's Ultimate Universe finale number one. So I just want to say that with Dennis Camp and Jonathan Hickman on writing duties, I would love to read this. However, I would only do it if I read all of the Ultimate Saga in advance. So I would need to go back and read everything else leading up to this, including the events of Ultimate Endgame. So this is sort of an end game or a finale after the finale. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's probably only like 100 or so issues of books, Mike. I don't know what's keeping you
I don't
from
know what's
doing that.
yeah. I just feel a little bit abashed that I haven't read more Ultimates. Maybe I'm feeling bad
Well,
about it.
this is the most recent iteration of the Ultimate
Right.
Universe. So
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Uh, what else you got?
85. That's
85,
it
still
for me.
you. All right, still
Oh
you.
gosh. Oh, okay. Well, while we type in the number of the page, 85 is The Magic Order Omnibus, Volume 1 by Mark Miller and Oliver or Olivier Coppel. I read the first volume of this is for an episode of the Roadshow, and I enjoyed it. I Not everything Miller does is feels authentic to me. Sometimes I feel like he's doing some audacious stuff just for the sake of audacity. Um, but I enjoyed the Magic Order, and I don't know if I'll get this full omnibus. Is like $30. That's not bad. I could probably do that. It seems like really not that much for an omnibus, but anyway, it's great art and it's magic based, but it seems like really smart magic stories.
My last thing is on 109. You have the final volume of the Micronauts Epic Collection, which it doesn't say here, but it reprints the Microsoft New Voyages, which was a 20 issue second volume of the Micronauts with
Nice.
cover and art by Butch Geiss.
He just
So
passed, didn't he? Yeah.
I fairly recently, I mean the
Yeah.
last few years, I don't maybe 2 or 3 years. I'm trying to remember. I know I was actually, and maybe it's sooner than that, more recent than that, because I want to say something I read on the Marvel app recently had that little, in memoriam page where
Yeah. Some
it
of
had
the
him.
there's some art by Butch Geiss, or Jackson Geiss, in the Batman Green Arrow Question Acadia story, and he didn't really, he was going to do, I think, maybe the whole thing, and he only got a little bit done. They just started doing, in the first page of each story they had had his panels or his art.
Well, Mike, anything you want to shout? Well, let's start with the easy one. What are you looking forward to
Oh, the
this
Swamp
month?
Thing. Yeah.
So yeah, okay, all right,
Yeah.
good, all right, me too. So hey, I'm absolutely ordering that Swamp Thing. I don't know, maybe we need to. Are we both going to order that one?
Yeah, I definitely
Okay,
am.
well
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe do you want to do just the first one, or maybe we should do all four for
Let's
a
just do all. Yeah,
episode?
let's do all four. Yeah, I think
Okay,
it'd be
all right.
great.
Okay, all right. So all right, well I'll be ordering all four. So yeah, all right, we'll do that for a
Okay.
future one. Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that too. It was. I mean, I obviously could say the future is number 12
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll,
Yeah.
I'll go with Swamp Thing. Just not always who the future is. So,
Okay.
do you have anything you want to shout out as a potential investment pick?
The only thing I could think of, because it mentioned the gaming, was the Planet Atmos Exordium. I don't know much about it, whether games can really increase values of a first appearance of something. I don't even. Maybe they're coming out simultaneously. I don't know, but that's what I had marked down here, so I got to go with it.
Yeah, I'm looking back over the list and seeing if there's anything that I'm going to pick up. This is really like just a shot. Just because of the fact there's not a lot of Nintendo comics.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh
know,
yeah.
the whole like there were some like Nintendo, Valiant did some Nintendo Power comics, and those
Mm-hmm.
some of those are $100 books. This Archie comics, I can't imagine that there's 20,000 Archie comics being sold every single month. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I don't expect there to be a lot of those printed. So that might be something just on a whim, just to pull. It's a stretch.
Yeah,
But
but
nothing else is
that
really
sounds
jumping out
more
at me.
intelligent than what I say whenever it comes to investment picks. So
Now, the only other one that I would throw out there is that Red Roots, and it's only because the details on it are so limited. I mean,
yeah.
it's like got a 3 sentence blurb, and that's about it. So we don't know a whole lot of the details about that book. So
Right.
maybe something cool is going to happen, and they don't want to give away too many details. So now we talked about we were going to do this, and I didn't remember until about halfway through, where the December numbers are out for comic sales, and I think Here, and I'll dump this to you in the chat
Mm-hmm.
real quick if I can find where the chat is. There it is. Give you a link there to this, but once again, and I can't remember if we saw the December numbers. If they came out just was it this? I think it was. We talked about the November numbers. And
Yeah.
these are the December numbers, so it's kind of like a
Yeah.
month behind. Because if I remember right, the number one book last time was the Batman Deadpool book, right?
Yes.
Okay, so looking at the top 10, you have one, two, three, four, five, six DC books, and you have two Marvel books, and then you have a Keen Spot book and IDW, which, I mean, I remember the days when in the top 100, the only non-Marvel DC book was Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And now you've got two non-Marvel books, Marvel DC books in the top 10, and only two books for
Wow.
Marvel in the, let's see, three, four, you got five in the top 20 for Marvel. So with the number one book for December being Absolute Batman number 15, which was that Joker first appearance.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then of course you have Mark Spears Monsters number 8 at number 6, and once again, you know why that sold so many copies?
No, I
Blind Bag.
don't.
Blind Bag.
Oh, that's right.
Once
Yeah.
again. So you had
Yes.
the Monster and the Wolf 2, which was a blind bag. Then you had issue 8, which was a blind bag.
Yeah.
So I am ready for that gimmick to end because Dynamite's caught on to it now, and that's just going to get
It
worse.
might.
So
Could that create a sort of a what do you call it? A balloon or
a
a
backlash, or
yeah
bubble.
bubble? Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I hope we're just about through. Once Dynamite starts doing it, I really feel like it's at the end of its life.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it is Keen Spot. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Number 6, a Keen
Yeah.
Spot book. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know anything if you scroll through that list. Is there anything else that's a surprise to you in that list?
Surprise. Probably. It's weird because that DCKO Night fight, number 2 of 4, is number 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm just surprised that kind of a spinoff is sold that well,
Yeah.
and it's the second issue. So
Well, and it's ahead of some of like the Wonder Woman versus Lobo
yeah,
one
right,
shot
right,
is
yeah,
13,
yeah,
and like the regular DCKO's title is 22.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
meant. I hadn't even scrolled down to see where the regular KO was at, but no,
And
I'm
I
not
guess the other
surprised too much about the other ones. Yeah,
Okay. And the other thing is like when you look at the Marvel and DC titles, the more popular ones are the absolutes and the ultimates, not the regular series. Now you've
right.
got the Zdarsky Batman at number 3, but then it's Absolute Batman, Ultimate Endgame, Absolute Wonder Woman, Batman Marvel or DC Marvel crossover, Keen Spot,
Wow.
Absolute Batman, Ultimate Spider-Man. Okay, then you get the DC KO, Turtles, and then Absolute KO KO KO, Ultimate KO, and then Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's not until you get to number 18, Amazing Spider-Man, Transformers,
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four, that it's like an ongoing book.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers is number 27, so
Yep.
the rest of them are way down in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
As
Now
far
it
as into
doesn't
the
give us,
series.
yeah, it doesn't give us actual sales numbers.
Hmm.
It just tells us what the top books are via Comic Hub, which I think is one of those software packages that a store can get for customers to put in their pre-orders on.
Yeah,
So it is obviously not covering everything, but it does give us kind of an idea about what some of the more popular books actually are.
yeah, yeah.
So anyway, so that's just icv2.com. You go in, you hit sales at the top link, and you can kind of look at this information for yourself. You can see the top 50 without a subscription. If you want to see more than that, you got to actually subscribe, which I just think it's pretty interesting. Just kind of just how much the landscape has changed. So.
It's you don't often get to. I mean, it used to be you'd go to Wizard to see what the sales were for, and now
Yeah.
I haven't paid attention to these sales in a long time.
Well, I remember a time when you would see a list and X-Men would be 1, and then everything else was how many percentage-wise it sold compared to X-Men.
Right.
So
yeah.
like if Batman was the second best-selling book, it might be a 0.5 because it sold half as many books as X-Men. And then when
Oh
Spawn
my
came
God.
out, it would be like a 4 because it sold 4 times as many books as what X-Men sold that
Yeah.
month. So
Yeah.
it was just I don't know why they hide they hide the actual
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of interesting. So
Yeah.
all right, Mike. So what do we got coming up on the next episode of the Campus Comics Cast?
Well, episode 229, we will feature first 5 of, well, the the mucky monsters of comics. So Swamp Thing, the first 5 of Swamp Thing, and the first 5 of Man Thing, and then for an added treat, we will talk about the first couple issues or couple stories of what some might say inspired those 2 swamp creatures, the Heap.
And Mike, if somebody wanted to reach out to you besides podcasts at birdcomics.com, how might they do that?
Well, email is mike at comicshoproadshow.com, or our Campus Comics Cast Facebook page is a good way too. I'm not as quick as checking posts and comments, but I do try. I really appreciate anytime anyone drops a quick note in there. It seems like an easy way to do it. Emails are a little bit more effort on anyone's part, so I understand that. But hey, drop a note on our Facebook page.
And I'm Scott Reed. You can find me at burgcomics.com, burgcomics.com, where there are links to my social media pages and eBay store. We'll be back soon to talk about the swamp.
Let me look at Mike's Amazing Worlds. Marvel. Search for. Is it hyphenated, Man Thing? Sometimes giant size is all I can tell you.